What's going on, y'all? So listen, American Horror Story is fucking trying my nerves tonight. Okay, it was a lot to deal with. I said, God damn, warn the bitch first. Okay, this is season 7, episode 5, Holes. Okay, so we start off with Beverly doing a news report about finding his head decapitated, all this other stuff, and she's saying that a crime is going up. It's like a serial murder thing going on, and of course Bob is not buying it. Bob is like, you need to stop putting out this fake ass news, okay? And crime has been down and all this stuff, and how come it that every time something goes on, you always the first one on the scene? Beverly is like, I'm not revealing my sources. Okay, now if you would have let us air that show about Serena and her getting killed, it was like, we're not trying to do that. It was like, why not? Because the parents is suing them, for not protecting the daughter. And then Beverly was like, bitch, maybe it's because they found out that you was fucking their dumb as shit daughter too. Bob got pissed off, right? Bob got so pissed. He told her, bitch, you fucking fired, okay? She was like, no, you don't want that. Because if you fired me, I'm going to release that video, okay? I'm going to say that you was up here fucking this little girl and all this shit. I said, oh, shit. Uh-uh. Bob just told her to get out. Just get out. And at this point, they having a meeting. Meeting of the code members. And it's dissension in the ring. Okay, it's this boy who looks probably like about 20 something. He's having a little bit of doubts about everything that's going on. We see everyone there, except for Meadow, and they're trying to get everybody to, understand that we need more attention for people to try to come to us. And they was like, the boy had asked, because this is what made Kai pissed off. Cass slapped the dog shit out of him because he was like, what the fuck do we need to you need to do this council shit for? Okay, ain't nobody care about no fucking councilman and all that shit. He said because, you know, it's not really about trying to vote for the councilman and all that shit. They want the position so that people can turn to him for fear. He's playing on that fear. Turn to him for protection or whatever. And that's the whole thing that he's trying to do. He's trying to basically develop an army. An army of people that will do any and everything that he says, who will blindly follow him. Why? Because he's making people scared enough to actually feel as though they need him to protect them. Okay? And Beverly is telling them about the fact that Bob won't put the video of Serena being killed up there because she was saying we need more. They were saying we need more visibility. We need people to actually see the clowns and work. Okay, we seen the shit going on with the Mexican workers being caught up. We seen the murders happening, but nobody is saying anything. Nobody is acting out of the normal. So we need to put the clowns out there. And she was like, well, Bob won't let them do that because he's catching on to her impartiality to this whole thing. And so, he was like, well, fuck it, we're going to kill Bob. I said, oh, shit. And was like, next thing you know, Ivy comes in and was like, sorry, I'm late. I said, you know what? I already said don't trust nobody, okay? Everybody is in this, and everything is coming together. The whole reason why Ivy is doing all this shit to Allie, mainly is Allie voted for Jill Stein. Ivy is pissed about that because she feels that though, she's part of the reason why the country is going to shit as it is. Because we seen the little conversation that she was having with Winter in the car when they was going to meet up with Kyle or whoever, where the fuck they was going. Anyway, that's what she said. I said, really, girl? Really, girl? Okay. Meanwhile, Allie going over there to her therapist because she up there, imagining holes on her body. Like she literally scratched herself raw. Bitch, that shit made my skin crawl. I ain't even gonna fucking lie. I had to fast forward. It made my skin crawl. It's making my skin crawl just thinking about it right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. But, you know, um, she's talking about the fact that she can't see her son, her biological needs. She needs to see her son. Ivy finally made it so that she can have supervised visitation rights. We see that, she's talking with Oz at the restaurant and she don't even know how to act normal with him. And, he's saying that she's being weird and all this stuff, talking about the pirates and shit that used to happen back in the day. It was just a lot. She was thinking back on the fact that she realized it was a disconnect starting way when probably before the election happened. They said it goes back to September 2016 where, she's trying to get some, she wants some sex, okay? She want her kitty legs, she want to play with and all that shit. Abby is over there trying to figure out the book. She like, we not turning a profit. This is gonna sink us and you wanna fuck right now? She was like, here, I got this present. She was like, bitch, you probably spent money on this that we ain't even fucking got. She was like, bitch, just open it. And so she opened it and it was a sex toy. And Abby gets pissed off, like, girl, we ain't got time for all this shit. And I'm just like, girl, it's a lot. Leave her. Okay? The whole thing with Allie is she's dealing with all these phobias and these fears, and now she's left alone and she has nobody to help her with it. Okay? She was using Ivy as a crutch, if you ask me, to help her get through what she was going through. And Ivy was kind of like enabling her a little bit, And now she has to deal with it on her own. She don't know how to act. Okay? But Ozzy going over there too, a little sleepover, and she in the car with Winter. Ivy in the car with Winter. She was like, did he ask about Allie? And it was like, in a roundabout way, yes, but not really. I said, oh, what's that about? He was like, I'm sorry that he saw the video, but this had to happen to make the plan work. It was like, are you ready for this? Because shit is about to get real. I'm pissed off that she did this. Okay, she's part of the reason why we're in this condition that we're in now. I hate this country. I hate what it's doing to us. I said, oh shit, bitch. Sound like some of us, all right? But, she was like, are you ready? And they pull over into this space and they meeting up with Kai. Everybody's ready to do what they gotta do. um they getting ready to go kill Bob because they said Bob has to die, so they go over to his place. But before we actually see them go inside the place, we see Bob coming downstairs in his tidy whities, okay, and he has on latex gloves. And the latex gloves got some type of, at first I thought it was some type of sauce. I was like, what the fuck? But it was a little bit too red. I said, that ain't ketchup. And that's not barbecue sauce. Is it sriracha? Sriracha? No, it can't be. It's not the consistency. But he was licking it, so I was confused about what was going on. He goes in there to go get him some ice cream. Next thing you know, we see the clowns entering the group of people. They entering, they knock him out, and he tried to stab him and all that stuff, and it didn't work. And he was like, wait a minute, you can't kill me. I got a gimp upstairs in the attic. And I said, a fucking gimp? Bitch, what the fuck is that? Okay, you got somebody that's disabled in the attic? What's happening? Girl, they go up to the attic, and it's a whole bunch of other freak shit going on. Okay, I am not into this type of S&M. Sodomy, sadomasochism. Okay, I am not into this shit. Now you pop me and slap me around a couple of times. Okay, but bitch, I said, mm-mm, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. It just blew my mind the shit that things that people do to their bodies. Okay, for all of pleasure. This man is literally hanging in the attic by hooks. And I'm like, how are you just, and your skin is not, Jesus Christ. Like his skin is supporting his weight for the most part. It's not ripping, but it's still the hole in there. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my God. And he's blinded. He can't hear, he can't see. And so, Cat was like, we got to kill him. The other boy that he slapped at the beginning was like, no, we can't kill his ass. He can't hear us. He can't see us. Why don't we just leave him alone? And he was like, fuck that shit. We got to kill him. So, of course, Cat just goes over there and stab his ass and, kill him. And it was just a lot because the skin literally tore for a minute off the hook. I said, oh, no. Oh no, I don't have time for this. And Ivy go throw up. Of course, Winter go over there and talk to her and trying to see if she okay. Ivy and Winter gotta be fucking, okay? They bring Bob up to the attic and eventually take turns beating his ass up. And Kai said, we gotta film this whole thing, and when we do it, we say Ava Santanitas or something like Santanitas or some shit like that. Talking about they trying to make it seem like it's a cult and it's devil worship that's doing this, and get a picture of the clowns doing it and all that shit. So they all chanting and they doing all this shit, and my bad, taking turns stabbing him. Next thing you know, little boy is like, okay, we don't need to do no more. He's just having doubts about the whole thing. And I said, yeah, you are gonna get yourself killed. You should just keep those thoughts to yourself. Beverly take her mask off and she was like, what's up, Bob? Okay. And she puts an axe to his head and all that blood just come rushing down. And I said, no, ma'am. I don't have time for this shit. Now, this shit was just taking me out. I said, I done sat through 7 seasons of this. Well, 6 seasons of this shit. But this gory bullshit is just doing the most for me tonight for some reason. Okay? Then all of a sudden, she's on the scene about the murder, okay, of the co-worker. And then she actually shows the video. So now, with the video being shown, it's putting up there that making is playing on people's fears that something is going on. We need somebody in office that's going to actually, do something about this. And once again, Kai comes up with this plan and it works, and this gets people to vote for him. He has a 10-point lead all of a sudden, and shit is going his way. So after everything happens, Beverly and Kai meets up at Ivy's restaurant, and they're talking about what's going on. And Beverly is like, we got a wink leak up in this bitch. You saw what happened. It was like, well, Ivy, she did punk out a little bit. She threw up and all that shit. It was like, no, I ain't talking about her. I'm talking about the other boy. And he was like, he's like a cancer. We need to get this shit done and get out because, he keep on having doubts and stuff like that. They go back 5 weeks earlier to when they killed that couple in the coffins and shit, and how he was complaining about how long should we keep him up in there, and we shouldn't do this and we shouldn't do that. So they was just building it up that he wasn't gonna last long. He was on one episode and that was it. Meanwhile, Allie is at her house and she's in Oz room, and she notices that what's her face? Is his name Harrison? Him across the neighbor across the street. He comes up and he has this bag that's really, really heavy. And she's nosy and looking and seeing what's going on. Takes our telescope and looking outside the window in his house and all this shit. Sees the bag and seeing him just dragging it in and just looking very suspicious like. And then sees inside his kitchen that he and the detective with the frosty tips are making out and all this shit. And that instantly puts me in the mind frame that now that Ivy is in on this shit, okay, of course it's all making sense. Chaz Bono, the one with no arm, no hand, who cut his hand off last week, he owns that grocery store, or he's the manager of it, or whatever. So they all plotted this shit out to scare Allie. When she went into that grocery store and nobody was in there, but them clowns was in there, she saw that shit. That shit was real. Okay, it had to be. And them clowns that was fucking, that was the cop and old boy. I said, ain't that about some shit? Okay, y'all fucking with this bitch and don't even care. And that's why the police don't see nothing on the videotape, because the detective who was already there probably cleared that shit off. All right, and then Kai is a master at hacking. He is the ringleader. He is the one that has the multiple dick nose, okay, faces. That's him. She see all this and she takes her dumb ass over there to the house. I said, why would you do this? Okay, stay your ass in. It's just a lot going on that I would not have done. Bitch, first of all, I'm gonna mind my goddamn business. Okay, and if I just so happen to stumble across some, I might call somebody that can help. But I'm not gonna go over there and see for myself, knowing I got all these type of issues. This bitch go over there in the backyard and she see a hole and she finna have a fucking panic attack. And we see Meadow in a hole talking about some help me. Mind you, a couple of episodes ago, we thought Meadow was dead with a whole bunch of blood on Harrison trying to figure out where she at. This was all the plot and the ploy because they had to get rid of Meadow, because Meadow is over the whole thing. She wasn't here for what's going on. Ivy leaves and Meadow is still trying to say help me, help me, help me, but not Ivy, Allie. she goes back and she called Ivy trying to tell her what's going on. She was like, something is going on, and Meadow was in a hole and this and that. And Ivy is trying to, act like she's concerned. And I think it's going a little bit too far for Ivy. That's what I thought for a minute. That's what I thought for a minute. But as we saw later, it really wasn't. Somebody was banging at the door, and, Allie didn't want to answer it. But we see Meadow coming to the window, and she was like, help me, help me. They are part of this sick cult. It's ran by Kai. Everybody's in on it. You can't call. She was like, I'm calling the police, and the police are on their way. You can't call the police. They're in on it too. They're a part of it. Even your wife, my boyfriend, all these people, Kai, they're all a part of it. And when she said Ivy was a part of it, Ivy was still on the phone saying, what happened? Who's at the door? Who's at the door? She hung up on that bitch. And they had grabbed old girl and put a hood over her. Next thing you know, we don't hear nothing else from Meadow. But then we see them over there at Kai's place. And Ivy looking like, what's going on? They cheering for Kai when he comes in because they see everything that's happening, because they actually showed that video on TV. And, the poll numbers is going up. And then they trying to figure out what's going on, because Ivy says she got to check on the babysitter. The babysitter is only there for a short period of time. So this is where he starts saying that, we got dissension in the ranks, somebody that needs to be cut out. And they go up and they see or I should say they go down and they see they got the boy tied up in a chair. And they was like, what the fuck is going on? At first, a couple of them was like, no, we shouldn't be doing this. And Abby was having doubt and everything. And he was like, well, you also didn't stick around when we killed old boy, that gimp. So to show your allegiance to me, take this nail gun and you do the first hit. And if you don't want him to die or to suffer, go ahead and hit him in the spot where he needs to just go ahead and die, because the Guinness Book of World Records of a person staying alive, I guess, after being hit in the head with a nail gun was 13 nails before he died. And she didn't want to disappoint him, I guess, and went on ahead and just started popping him. And they just took turns nailing him in the face, in the forehead, on the side, the temple, all that shit. And after everybody took a turn, he was still like he was dead. And the main reason why they had to kill him is because they couldn't just let him go, because he saw their faces. He know who they are, and he could point them out at any time. And it was like, should we just go ahead and let him go, or should we go another round? And then because all of a sudden he opened up his eyes was blinking. I said, oh, this motherfucker is still alive. God damn. God, he gonna be brain dead in a minute, okay? But what wound up happening? He said the medulla oblongata. What's wrong with his medulla oblongata? Water boy. That's the on and off switch, okay? And so he just went back there and popped it, and he went right to sleep. I said, oh shit, this is a little bit too much. Too much. And so, he do that truth or dare, tell me your secrets and tell me what you scared of with the pinky or whatever with Beverly. And she was like, bitch, I want to know what you scared of. I want to know about you. I'm pretty sure you done told everybody different type of stories about you, but I want to know the real truth. I see all these pictures of family and stuff around here, but what's your deal? So she was like, did you kill your parents? Did they die? And then she noticed that he kind of had a little reaction, and she was like, okay, so what's the story? So come to find out, the daddy was this big accountant or a lawyer or some shit like that. He got into an accident, turned him, into a little paralyzed person. He became paralyzed. He can't do what he usually do and be the man of the house, and that was getting to him. So he becomes depressed. He becomes angry and abusive towards the wife. And see, this is what you got me fucked up. To the kids too. Winter, she's off at college. Akaden already got his degree, and the daddy is, pissed off that he got a degree in religious study. Like, what you gonna do with that degree and all that shit and wasting my money? I said, calm the fuck down. Okay. Next thing you know, he up there talking to the wife. The wife gets the food. Here's Taco Tuesday. You know I don't like spicy food. She said, I put mild sauce in it. It was like, who you fucking? Not in front of the child. Well, he needs to know what dick your mother is bouncing up and down on, because it ain't mine, because mine don't work no more. I said, well, shit. We ain't need to know that. But, I understand why you upset, but fuck. At this moment in time, see, I don't get how people can let a motherfucker who is disabled, who can't do for themselves, and it depends on you to fucking incite that type of fear in their heart that you scared to be around them. Bitch, I control these reins, okay? I gotta take care of your ass, bitch. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be scared of you like that. So next thing you know, we see them upstairs. Well, Kai doing some homework or something, and we hear the arguing that's going on, and we hear a gunshot. The mama had shot him in the daddy in the stomach and said it's the only way to make it stop, and then she killed herself. Beverly was like, well, did you call the cops? He was like, no, I called on the person I knew to call. My brother, Vincent. Bitch, who is his brother? The fucking therapist. The brother said, no, we ain't gonna call the cops or whatever. We gonna keep him up in here, let the body decompose, mummify a little bit, because if we call the cops or whatever, they're gonna ask questions. We're gonna get kicked out. The money train gonna stop. Who gonna pay for my practice just opened up? Who gonna pay for winter being in school? Who gonna pay for all the money that keeping the house upkeep? How the money is going to keep coming? So they did that. They didn't tell Winter until she came home, and that's what happened. They kept them bodies up there mummified. That was when we first saw them in the first episode, and they walked past that room with the rose and thing. That was that room, and he said he do go up there time to time to talk to his mama. Bitch, the bodies was just mummified, bones and shit. And I just said, I don't have no time for this. Beverly broke that man down. He broke down and cried. I said, is this real? Is this real? Beverly is gonna take over. I can just see that shit happening. Like, she just got his soft spot, okay? And she can use that shit against him. But that was American Horror Story. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I will see you guys later.